You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know who it is. You know what it is. It's The Sizzle here in the building with another Hot 5 in 5. Hey, we love bringing you this content, so make sure that you subscribe, like, and share this content. Always make sure you're getting the content on any platform you're on, be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or even now Twitch. And listen, you can find our podcast wherever you find your podcast. Whichever thing is good to you is great for us. So make sure that you're looking for Iron Skillet Sports, subscribe, like, and then share with a friend. We appreciate it. We love you, and you love this content. You know who it is. It's The Sizzle, the talk of the 219, the hottest talk in the 219. Listen, man, we've got a game tonight. It's Thursday Night Football. It's the New York Giants versus the Washington Football Team. Can Washington really find their groove? Can they get it in with a rookie quarterback? You know, Ryan Fitzpatrick is out for 6 to 8 weeks. So, Taylor Heinicke, is he really the answer for the Washington Football Team? Or can Daniel Jones find his groove? Now, you say find his groove. Let me say this. Ever since his rookie season, he's had a difficulty locating the end zone. We understand that. We understand that he's had some bad times. But the best times of his football career have been against the Washington Football Team. He has a 4-0 mastery over them since his rookie year. And he is the franchise quarterback right now. So, you know, at that point, what can you say? But hey, maybe he's the guy. He's the one. He's been 4-0 since he replaced Eli Manning as quarterback. And, you know, he's got a 2-2 record, I guess. You know, it's not great. It's not bad. But it's not great either. But I digress. Okay, so his best game against what we'll see as a Washington Football Team that has a ferocious defense was in 2019, in December of 2019, where he and Saquon Barkley went in, lit it up, and got a 41-35 overtime win. This time, he does not have Saquon Barkley. And, yeah, it probably doesn't have a win either. It's Thursday night, so you know you got to be ready for Thursday Night Football. Listen, let's sit back and relax as we watch. You know who it is. It's G-Sizzle in the building with your odds and unders for tonight's Thursday Night Football game for the Washington Football Team versus the New York Giants. It's week 2, baby. It's Thursday night. We're going to give you all of the info that you need, not only to win your fantasy, but so you know what's going on in the world of football right now. Okay, so the Washington Football Team, they're 0-1, and the Giants are 0-1. It's a Thursday night game. You know what? It's a matchup between the NFC East foes at FedEx Field. It's just really hard to say FedEx Field rough, like FedEx Field. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't go well. But the New York Giants are a 4-point underdog, and the over-under is set at 40.5. So listen, you've got a lot to look for right now. You've got some odds and some wagering you can do. This is a good game to get in on, not because they're great names. It's not that. It's that you know that the people who are there are going to be doing some work. Now, we have not heard of a Cam Newton signing yet with Washington, and that's fine. What we do know is at this point, Taylor Heinicke is your quarterback. He's the one. He's going to scramble. He's going to duke and dodge and dip and rip and flip, and he's going to do a lot of stuff. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going up against a stingy Washington defense. So, you know, when you look at insights here, you look at last year with Washington, they held scoring and opponents to scoring somewhere around 40.5. So tonight's matchup is about average where they were last year. So last year, you're looking at two teams that combined for about 2.1 points less than where they are right now. So, you're good if you're taking the over-under right there at 40.5. This is something that you can get in if you're betting and you've got money on the line. This is about where you want to be. Okay, so let's look at it from last year. Last year, Washington was just middle of the road. They were average. They were 8-7-1 against the stat last year line, and their line was kind of So last year, they were favored to always cover by about 4. But they failed to cover the spread a lot last year. And this might be the same thing this year. We don't know where Taylor Heinicke stands. I'm not really I can't give you a great line on it because I don't know much about Taylor Heinicke. I mean, he's a young man who's coming in and stepping into some shoes to fill for a team that's looking for offense, that's looking for the QB to really lead them. So I don't know, man. It's not a lot to go off of, but what you do know is that you've got a lot of good things to look at. With the Washington football team, you have Antonio Gibson. He's going to be there. He's going to be the lead back. So if you have him in your dailies, or if he's starting or on the bench right now for your fantasy team, you might want to put him in as that flex 3 running back. So he gets in there, you get some points on the board early. Now, really, the 2 players I would focus in on, if you really had to focus in on just 2 players that you're looking at, and that's Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas. You want a tight end who's going to get that ball at the goal line. He's going to get it in the red zone. He's going to be prepared to make those little short yardage catches that you'll need if you want to get some fantasy points. He's going to give you some touchdowns that he will do. And Terry McLaurin is always a threat to go deep. You know what? Last year, he had 87 passes, hauled in all of those on 134 targets, but he also had 1,118 yards receiving, which was about 69.9 yards per game last season. So with that, with the 2 touchdowns that he gave you a little value. Now, not saying there's not value on the Giants side, but it's limited value on the Giants side. So right now, you've got a lot of players who are out. Okay, so I know a lot of you were saying, hey, man, I drafted a couple of those Giants players. Why? I don't know why you did that. But the one thing we do know that is Evan Ingram is out. That's right. If you didn't hear, Evan Ingram is out and Saquon Barkley is not playing tonight. So you've got to look at really where their yards are going to come. And you've got Darius Slayton, who's there as a target for you, and Sterling Shepard. You've got those 2. Now, listen, if you want to go Galloway, that's on you. Okay, I'm not suggesting you do it. I'm not suggesting you don't do it. But one thing I am suggesting is Daniel Jones. Last year, he had 11 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. He carried the ball a lot. He carried the ball 65 times for 423 yards, and he averaged 1 touchdown. All I'm going to say is this, and he also averaged about 26 yards per rush when he was, per game, I should say, instead of per rush. I just don't see it with Washington's defense. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Their ends are pretty good. There should be a lot of edge containment. Line for Washington is suspect, as all lines are, but this is not a game that I expect for Daniel Jones to be able to go out there and just throw at will. This is a game, I think it's going to be a ball control. It's going to be a lot of short passes. It's going to be a lot of checkdowns, a lot of moving the ball methodically down the field. So listen, your money value, if you're looking at the Giants, you've got 2 players. You've got Slayton and you've got Shepard. Also, if you're looking at Washington, the 2 players that you really want to look at would be Antonio Gibson and Logan Thomas. Now, and I also will throw in Terry McLaurin, but let's just say, okay, maybe it's not a great day for the quarterback for the Washington football team If Heinicke can't really get off, at least you got the tight end and the running back that'll bring you some points and give you some respectability in your fantasy league. So you know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle here in the building with a hot 5 in 5. Remember to look for our exclusive interview with Coach Angela Hamblin-Blakely from the region. You know who only does it the way we do it, which is the Sizzle, right here on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
Make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Iron Skillet Sports. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Iron Skillet Sports on YouTube at Iron Skillet Sports.